Edo State in the news as face-off between two political elephants. Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy gets messier. Hello and warm welcome to Political Insights on VOS TV Nigeria. My name is Jude Agweke. Recent developments in the conflicts between Governor Godwin Obaseki and Comrade Shaibu has it that a DSS official attached to the governor prevented the deputy governor, Comrade Shaibu, from exchanging pleasantries with the governor during a Thanksgiving held at the Edo State government house to commemorate Edo State at 32. This was even as the deputy governor state walked out of a colloquium held in Benin City to mark 60th anniversary of the Midwest referendum celebration. Now, joining us on the program to discuss the rift between the duo of Obaseki and Shaibu is the State Publicity Secretary of the APC in Edo State, Prince Peter Uwadia. Hello, welcome on the program, sir.
Good morning. I'm happy to be with you today.
Thank you for joining us. So we've seen the political developments in Edo State. Edo State has been in the news for the past few weeks, and not for good. This time around, the state deputy governor and the governor himself in conflict. So how do you see that? Though you are from the opposition party, we want you to unbiasedly comment on the development between the state deputy governor and his principal, Governor Godwin Obaseki.
Well, like you've agreed that we're not in PDP, neither are we in government in Edo, for us to have that in-depth knowledge of what is actually happening between them. But from the fallout, the manifest issues on the media and what we've seen from their behavioral pattern, it's obvious that there is a disconnect now between the governor and his deputy. And let me quickly say this. It is not unexpected that the governor and his deputy will eventually fall out. Because for the deputy governor, we've seen a trait that is quite manifest in his attitude. He's a young man who was quite fortunate to be elevated beyond his capacity, beyond his capability by our political godfather and the man who has seen him or took him as his son, that is Senator Adams Oshomole. Because back those days, going down the memory lane, we all know that Philip was just one young man there who was out of the university and basically didn't even have any work that he was doing. He was a political boy of our leader. And the man, from his goodwill and disposition towards him, being a boy from his own background, from his own village and town, he took him to that level, elevated him to that level of, first, he was he gained that entrance into the House of Assembly, spent 8 years, and the man also did beyond that to ensure that he won the House of Reps ticket and eventually won the election. Before he could even settle down in Abuja into the main business of legislation in Abuja, he was called upon again, out of the goodwill of our leader, and to become the deputy governor, picked the ticket, and eventually became the top. So from that background, you will see that there is a man that has been quite fortunate, and when you embellished a man who has no capacity with that power,
yes,
he becomes power drunk, and all that happened then after is now what is playing out. So apparently, if you ask me, we expected that a day will come like this, that because they were two strange bedfellows who didn't really understand, they didn't understand themselves, They were just there because of the political exigencies.
This whole conflict started, you know, when the deputy governor obtained an injunction to restrain the state governor and the state House of Assembly members from alleged impeachment plot. So he's protecting his ambition to become a state governor.
Let me quickly say this. As an individual in Edo, yes, you have the right to aspire.
Yes.
As a deputy governor, you must look at the parameter under which you are aspiring. Coupled with the fact that he was so preemptive in his move to approaching a court. It was so too fast a movement. Too fast a movement for him to have approached. If the indices were there to suggest that yes, he was going to be impeached.
Yes.
Then two, that he should not aspire. The governor has not said he shouldn't aspire. Without speaking for the governor.
Yes.
We've never heard that the governor said his deputy shouldn't aspire. Then again, as to whether he will be impeached, is a matter of facts and evidence suggestive of the fact that there is a move to impeaching a sitting either the governor or the deputy governor. And to us and to them in the House of Assembly, you see how the speaker quickly debunked the claim. Because the indices were in there. This also goes to show how ambitious the deputy governor is. To the extent that what you have not even seen, it works in your head that you were going to be impeached. Why will you be impeached in the first place? If you are in good terms, let me tell you one thing that you must know. If a deputy governor is in good terms with his boss, that is the governor,
yes,
and in good terms with his people, represented by the House of Assembly, there would be no reason, howsoever, for him to contemplate that he was going to be impeached. It suggests that there is a disconnect between him and the governor and the House of Assembly.
Oh.
Because before, going by the Constitution, before he would be impeached, the House of Assembly must have found impeachable offences committed by him. There must be a prima facie evidence of impeachable offences committed by him before they can even set out to talk of impeaching him. If he feels that he's going to be impeached, it therefore means that there is an admission on his part that he has committed those impeachable offences that will enable the House of Assembly to impeach him. So it shows therefore that there is a disconnect between him and his people and his boss and the House of Assembly. He's standing aloft in terms of managerial ability and in terms of what he has done or what is cracking in his head that he has done, so to speak. So I would rather say that it was too premature for him to have approached any court to say, stop my impeachment. Who is impeaching you? Over what? What have you done? These are pertinent questions that the court wanted him to come and answer. Now, you said you want to be impeached. Oh, fine. We will stop that supposed impeachment.
Yes.
In the main. But come and show to us if you have been claimed, therefore, you will not be impeached. But of course, the governor said that there is no move to impeach him. Except his conscience is telling him he has done things that are quite impeachable. And that is where we are in Edo State. The deputy governor is standing on a very shaking ground. And that is as a result of his ambition, as a result of his, desperation. Let me use the appropriate word now. His desperation. The young man is desperate to becoming the governor of Edo State. It takes being the deputy governor to becoming the governor of the state. It doesn't take that. It takes beyond that. To him, he feels that because he is the sitting deputy governor, as a matter of deliberate policy or ideal situation, he should be the next governor. No, it doesn't follow. That is why I said he should have had the knowledge of how Edo State is standing. He's standing on a tripod. Now, speaking generally on how Edo State politics works, we have come to that understanding that yes, the governor comes from a particular senatorial district, his deputy comes from another one. Then the arrangement is looked from 1999 when this Fourth Republic commenced. Yes. How has this arrangement been till today? Will it be expected morally, even though he has the constitutional right, will it be expected that Edo people will say, okay, the government has been in the south, it has been in the north for 8 years, and is leaving the south now, should you also go to the same north for another 8 years? Is it morally justifiable? Is it a fair deal? These are the things that the deputy governor ought to have understood, and he didn't do. And the governor is saying, no. Apart from being a destructive tendencies on his part, this you must also understand. You must also look at this. There was no fairness. So, in all, I would rather say that is why today he's not enjoying the sympathy of anybody. That is deputy governor. He's not enjoying the sympathy of even those in opposition, let alone those who are in government.
Is this conflict now between the deputy governor and his principal? Don't you think it might also his ambition comes 2024?
Well, like I said, we are not in his party. He has the right to aspire. As far as the Nigerian constitution is concerned, he's an individual, is qualified to aspire, yes. But as to whether he will get the ticket of his party is to be determined by the members of his party. Whether they found him worthy to be given the ticket to win the election. Because one thing for sure, as politicians, we must understand the fact that you don't just give your ticket out. You must also understand that giving your ticket out, you must give it to somebody that will give you the winning. The winning formula must be there. The man must have the wherewithal. The man must have the capacity, the acceptance by the people, so that at the end of the day, your ticket will not be a wasted one. So, as to determining how he becomes the candidate of his party is left for PDP and the appropriate time to decide. But what is happening now, as in parentheses, as a politician, we will know that he will definitely have, whether negative or positive, it must impact on his ambition.
But there are allegations that he has concluded plans to defect to your party.
Well, defection is not something that is alien to politics. In fact, for those of us who read political science, we know that defection is a concept. It's a political concept that we also understood. Whether it will defect and accepted by our party is a different thing altogether. I won't want to project into all of that now. Because speaking for my party, he has never come to tell us that he wants to defer to us. He has not met with those who are concerned. I'm a member of the state working committee. He has never, approached us to say he wants to be a member of the party. If he says he wants to be a member of the party, which of course everybody has the right to do, at that time we'll now look at whether it's acceptable to us or whether his coming will impact on our party. He has the right to say, I want to join this political party. It's a matter of choice. But at the appropriate time, the party will look at whether you will be accepted or not. You can also approach a political party to say, I want to be part of you. But if that party has found certain traits in you that is not in conformity with what they want, they have the right to also tell you, yes, it's your right to be one of us, but it's our own right also to say, well, we will accept you to be one of us, because it's an association. A political party has its own constitution, it has its own guidelines, it has its own ways of doing things. It's built on law. A political party is built on law. And because it is built on law, there are certain laws that regulate even membership. You understand? Because there are laws that regulate membership. At that time, we look at the laws that regulate membership, whether this man is a fit and proper person to be a member of our party. Though he has not done that, when he eventually found the courage to do, we also look at that.
The rift between the duo of Obaseki and Shaibu, is really becoming of concern. So do people. So don't you think it's an embarrassment, considering the various unfolding developments? We watched how he was stopped. The deputy governor was stopped by a DSS official attached to Governor Godwin Obaseki. Stopped him from accessing his principal. So all these developments, they are projecting to the outside world. Don't you think it's an embarrassment to the state?
Well, we as a party, the APC, we know for sure that it is not even today. The government of the day has been an embarrassment. It has been an embarrassment to the Edo people. But, when it comes to changing a government, we have to wait for the time lag. Edo State have been so embarrassed by this present administration of Obaseki and his cohorts. But what is happening between them, has further exacerbated that disappointment that they have occasioned in Edo. I keep telling the world that the government of Obaseki is a disappointment. What is happening now, what he is doing and what his subordinates are receiving now, we projected into all of this prior to now. And that was why I told you that their being together is a matter of strange bedfellows, which will not end well. We've already known that it will not end well between Obaseki. Yes, it will not end well between Obaseki and Shaibu. That is why those people are not, though we are disappointed, we know that this will happen. We already know that this will happen. As to whether they are putting Edo State in the mark for the wrong reasons, yes, that is it. You would not have expected that the kind of romance that Obaseki had with his deputy a few years ago, that this kind of a thing will be happening. It showed that there are a lot between them that we didn't know before now, that the Edo people didn't know before now, and which is now playing out. Of course, there is a level to which you can hide certain anomalies. It must come to bear. It must come to the forerunner. You must come to see it. People must come to, it must play out. And what is playing out now is that there's the governor who perhaps is overzealous in dealing with his subordinates, who is taking issues to the highest level. If you have internal crisis to resolve, for instance, you can resolve it at your political and governmental level, and not coming to create an embarrassment to the entire world to see. It shows that the two of them, on both ends, are not playing according to the rules. There's these rules of engagement. They are not playing to the rules of engagement. But however, we as a party were not surprised. We knew that it would come to a point like this, that the Edo people will be further disappointed by the joint administration of the governor and his deputy.
What's your advice for the duo of Obaseki and Shaibu?
Well, what is happening between them is a matter of ambition and show of power. I'm the boss. The other one said, I want to be the boss come 2024. It's very simple. They can go back to a round table and say, look, yes, you want to be the boss come 2024. I am the boss now. Recognize the fact that I am the boss now. I dictate the pace now. I dictate where the pendulum falls right now. But when it comes to 2024, I've left this seat as the governor of the state. Whoever takes over from me can now dictate. But for today, I'm the governor. So let Shaibu also recognize the fact that he has a boss. And that was what our leader told him. anybody that is with you as a subordinate that doesn't respect you, he doesn't have any reason being with you. What we were taught, those of us who have gone through the Rubicons of trial of learning in politics, is that there is nothing like 99% loyalty in politics. When it comes to politics, there's nothing like 99% loyalty. It must be 101, 102 loyalty. And what the government is expecting of his deputies that put on the table that 101 loyalty. Once you do that, I am ready to go with you.
But the deputy governor declared that
no, wait a minute.
But despite his ambition, the distinct ambition from loyalty.
Let me tell you, you cannot share ambition from loyalty. They work in conjunction. It's a web. If I want to be governor, I must do it systemically, not to affect my loyalty to my boss. Assuming I'm the deputy governor. If I want to be governor, I must be seen to be more loyal to him so that I can be accepted. Let me tell you what happened. Why we have Obaseki as the governor in his first coming. His first tenure.
Okay.
Why it was difficult for our leader to drop in spite of all the rigmarole and yes, asking him to say, look, it shouldn't be this man. But Oshomole, for who he is, as intelligent as he is, he saw something quite unique, which all of us were not saying then. Said, this man is loyal to me. And Obaseki demonstrated it, even though he has his wrong intentions for doing it.
Wow.
Well, he demonstrated it to the face of Oshomole that I'm loyal to you. How can you leave me that is loyal to you to go and pick somebody? Even though the deputy governor then, Odubu, was also loyal to Oshomole, but Oshomole was able to put the two of them on the pedestal and say, look, well, this man seems to be more loyal to me. So, what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is this. Shaibu today cannot say I'm loyal to Obaseki, and at the same time showing manifestly your ambition that is even affecting the governance of the day. And the man said, no, this thing is eating deep into the governance of the state, and it shouldn't be so. It's too early, it's too premature that your ambition will now be affecting the governance of the state. It doesn't show loyalty. That is not loyalty. A party that is in opposition can begin to think of who becomes the next governor come 2024. But the party that is in government, their primary object today should be how they will function effectively to the acceptance of the Edo people. That the basic necessities of life, which the government of the day is to provide, are provided. And the governor said, no, this is your ambition. You are no longer focused on the governance of the day. And that should be your primary responsibility now. When the time comes for determining who becomes the governor of the day, of course, we'll all sit down and look at it. But for today, it's too premature. That's the point. And
so you are of the view that the deputy governor should be more loyal to his principal.
I'm not the only person that I've advised him. Our national leader, Senator Adams Oshomole, has advised him to go and be loyal to his boss. And that is what is expected of him. Go and be loyal to your boss. And that is why I said before that he's not enjoying the sympathy of people. Because people are beginning to see that, okay, why is this man being too ambitious now? We're in 2023. Okay? And you are the deputy governor. There are official assignments designated to your office. How much of time are you dedicating to doing those things that will impact on our people? Instead of dissipating your energy on governance, you are dissipating your energy on becoming the governor. So that's where he has missed it.
Thank you, Prince Peter, for coming on the program. We just hope that the deputy governor and his principal Governor Godwin Obaseki will come to term and resolve their conflicts. Now we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll take a look at APC preparation so far ahead of the Saturday, 2nd September Edo local government election. Don't go away. Stay tuned. So, Prince Peter, thank you for still being there on the program. So, we want to take a look at the local government election that is scheduled to hold on Saturday, 2nd of next month. How prepared is your party to participate in the election?
As to whether APC is ready, I can guarantee you that we are ready. We have been doing our campaigns across the 192 wards and across the 18 local governments. And we are the only visibly present political party you see everywhere. Apart from the fact that the governor has gone to some local government headquarters to campaign, taking that away from the campaign strategy of PDP, there is nothing on ground to show. Aside the governor being with them, the next time don't see them on the feed. But the only party you see on the feed every day is the APC, because we want to enjoy the momentum we had from the last elections, moving into the local government election, and from there moving into the governorship election. I can tell you, without missing words, that in the last election, you are all living witnesses to the result of the senatorial, first time in the history of Edo, in the Fourth Republic, that PDP couldn't win a single senatorial seat. First time. I can tell you that. First time. A sitting political party, a party in government, couldn't win a single seat of the senatorial, the 3 senatorial seats. Then, of the 9 House of Reps that we have in Edo, we got 6. We got 6, and PDP had 2, and PDP had 1, and Labour Party had 2. So, of the 24 seats we have in the House of Assembly, even though that was taken to be a localized election where the governor of the state will show manifestly his weight politically, they couldn't still overwhelm us. We had 8. We are contesting some in court now, which of course we are very determined and sure that if justice is shown in those cases, we will still win some to add to the 8 we already have. That's the momentum that we have set in the state, and we want to maintain that momentum into the local government elections and ditto the 2024 governorship election. So, to say whether we are prepared, yes, we are very, and we are asking that ESEC should do the needful. And what is the needful? That they should play according to the rules. Because election is a process. And if this process is truncated by not doing what is right, there will be, the consequences are always very negative. As a party in Edo, we are educating, not only campaigning, we are also educating our people to ensure that they play according to the rules. Be violent free, don't do things that will negative whatever intentions we have for winning the elections. Play according to the rules, mobilize your people, be violent free, cast your vote, stay back, let it be counted, take the result back home. That's what we are telling. That's an education. We are sensitizing our people on that platform. Then again too, we are also letting ESEC to know that please don't be the one to set the fire, because if you set the fire, it must burn, and the materials that the fire will burn don't also provide it. If you set the fire, you provide the materials with which it will burn, it will certainly burn. So we are saying, bring the materials to the various polling units. The result sheets, original result sheet that you will use on that day to declare results, bring it to the polling unit. Bring all other ancestries to the polling unit. Let the vote be cast. Let it be counted under the watchful eyes of all concerned stakeholders. Result declared and taken to the various collation centers, declared also at that point, and will be very much at home. Anything short of that will be taking Edo State backward. It is going to be retrogressive if we depart from this known practice. And if SF does that, I can assure you that the results will be overwhelming. We are the party to beat. Let me just be frank to tell you this.
Thank you, Prince Peter Obadia, for joining us on the program. We appreciate your contributions on the program. We just hope that the state's electoral umpire will conduct free, fair election. As we round off the program on today's episode of Political Insights, please don't forget to share your thoughts on the topic of discourse using the comment section. Do well to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification button to get updates. Bye for now.